For Dundee derby of the season, there's always talking points. Let's look forward to this afternoon's now as we go live and join our commentary team, Sandy Clark and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Dougie. It's the closest rivalry in Scottish football, well, geographically anyway, just a street between them. And as with every other derby up and down the country, it matters so much to both sets of supporters to get the upper hand. Dundee are 8 points ahead of United as we speak, with Dundee United back at the bottom of the table. Suspensions dictate Ian McCall's third Dundee United team selection. Keeper Alan Combe and Jim Laughlin are both banned. Paul Gallagher is back in goal, might play for Scotland as well on Wednesday night. Gary Bullen takes Laughlin's place, and it's Jim Hamilton in place of Derek Lilly up front.
United look today as if they're going to go a back three, but they certainly have the personnel to make that a four if things are not working out. But it's up front, they really have problems. To win games, you've got to stick the ball in the back of the net. They've brought Billy Dodds in. He's got a new partner today, Jim Hamilton, and Ian McCall. I'll be hoping those two manage to score for him this afternoon.
Dundee make one change, as Jim Duffy was saying, from the side which played in the game that finished after 27 minutes last weekend across the road at Den. Stephen Milne dropping down to the bench to make way for skipper Barry Smith in midfield. 8 goals, Steve Lovell and new boy Mark Birchall both on the bench alongside Milne. And maybe a bit of surprise, Sandy, that he didn't go with the same team as last week.
Certainly surprised to say the least Robbie played exceptionally well last week, but you can understand in a way why Barry Smith's playing today. I'm sure he'll play in the area that Charlie Miller plays in for United to try and stop the threat of Miller going forward. But up front last week, Dundee for 27 minutes were so impressive. Nacho Novo and Fabian Caballero, they're at the top of their form at the moment, and Jim Duffy will be looking for them to cause all the problems for the United defence this afternoon.
The third Dundee derby of the season, and Dundee United's third manager of the season now in place, with Alex Smith having kicked things off for them. He was dumped pretty early on, replaced by Paul Hegarty, who then had only 86 days in charge before he too was shown the exit, and Ian McCall took over. 0-0 it was between these two in the first meeting of the season in August. Dundee won the second by 3 goals to 2. Paul Gallagher back in the firing line. He replaced Alan Combe, of course, last weekend, who was sent off in that match. And you heard what Ian McCall's thoughts were pre-match regarding the Scotland manager's view of the situation here at Tannadice. He thinks Gallagher should be playing. Ian McCall's first move as manager was to drop Gallagher and put in Combe. Barry Smith back at the heart of things for Dundee, the skipper. It's always a surprise when he's left out. It tends to be a regular feature of Dundee sides, but they certainly didn't appear to miss him too much last Sunday in that first half hour, in fact the only half hour.
Yeah, Barry Smith won't let anybody down today, that's for certain.
And there's John Robotham, the referee for the derby, and it promises to be high octane. Ian McCall has had just 2 days to prepare his team for this derby match, having faced Celtic, of course, on Thursday night in the second of the CIS Cup semi-finals. And he's got a lot to chew over in the course of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day for Ian McCall. His first derby match on Tayside. It's a big one for his team. They're bottom of the league after such a good performance, a good result last week. They'll certainly want to climb that league as soon as they can.
Jim Patterson wins the first corner of the match with just 10 seconds played. He's had 2 broken legs in his short career, Jim Patterson, and you just wonder if he can stay injury-free, what sort of player he could become.
He's a fabulous player, Rob. He's got a magnificent left foot. If you give him time and space, he'll play real good balls into the box.
Billy Dodds on the end of the short corner. Charlie Miller, clever pass. Dodds onside. And Lee Mayer headed it clear. Mike Wilson, the 18-year-old, such a talent. Charlie Miller again prompting for Dundee United, and Georgie Nemsansi back inside his own penalty area. And a wonderful pass downfield to try to release Nacho Novo. Good defending from the teenager Wilson.
That's good play from Wilson. He had to show good pace to get there before Novo. We've seen how quick Novo was last week. Wilson more than matched him there.
Wilkie under pressure from Jim McIntyre, gets it back to Speroni, and the free kick was given. Dave Mackay, a permanent fixture at fullback for Dundee these days. Gavin Ray was the target. Craig Easton doing the marking job, and it's United's free kick this time, fiercely contested, and you expect nothing else.
That's the way it'll be for the 90 minutes, Rob. But United have certainly started fairly well. I think we managed to get it right. They're playing 3 at the back this afternoon.
Don't sound so surprised. Stuart Duff against Lee Mayer. Good challenge. Started well last weekend, Mayer, against Hibs in the snow. Duff's cross into a dangerous area, and that was pretty well dealt with by Lee Wilkie, and Lee Mayer couldn't stop it going behind.
It's a good header from Wilkie. It's into a dangerous area, but Lee Mayer couldn't prevent the corner kick.
Miller's corner kick, headed away by Wilkie. Back in it comes, and it was Gary Brady with the clearance this time. Patterson off Brady, in went Boland. Dundee United with the early pressure, and Mzadze wasn't content to leave that one for his goalkeeper. Flicked it up and knocked it clear. That's Kijinishvili alongside Wilkie in the central defence for Dundee. Brady's pass finds its way through to Novo. Now Caballero running from the midfield, Gavin Ray. Caballero so strong on the ball, holds off Easton. Brady lofts it forward. Good running, good movement from Nacho Novo. Darting to the byline, useful ball in. Just beyond Ray. It's Barry Smith. That's a good cross. And good handling from Paul Gallagher. Good start for him.
It's a good counter-attack from Dundee. Nacho Novo, marvellous movement. Get to the dead ball line. Firing the ball across goal. But this pass all about Gallagher. Barry Smith happy to get down the left-hand side on his weaker foot. That's good goalkeeping, Gallagher. One hand to it, make sure he kept the save.
Meantime, at the other end, pretty meaty challenge from Jim Hamilton and Julian Speroni, although the ball was bouncing around. And Hamilton will feel that he was well entitled to go for this.
That's what Jim Hamilton's all about. He doesn't mess about. He's got a big physical presence. It's a 50-50. Maybe his foot's just a little bit high. So certainly go for the ball. But he's maybe got to keep his foot down just that little bit.
And if you're looking to shake up a goalkeeper early on, Sandy, and you know all about that from your playing days, if you see a glimpse of the ball, you're in there.
You can look in Speroni's face there. He's not too happy at all, is he? But I think he better get used to that this afternoon when Jim Hamilton's playing.
Actually, even when you didn't see a glimpse of the ball, you went for it. Jim Hamilton came on as a sub in midweek in the Serie S Cup semi-final, a starter in place of Derek Lilly here. 27 today, Jim Hamilton. Billy Dodds. Cross blocked by Mayer. And the United skipper settles for the throw.
I'm actually watching where Billy Dodds is playing. He's actually dropped off the front a little bit. McIntyre's up almost beside Hamilton, and Billy Dodds is playing just in that gap between midfield and front.
Here he is. And Charlie Miller. Well stopped by Barry Smith. Foul against Miller.
Chick, what's Ian McCall managing to say in between the chewing gum? Well, he's
not happy, Rob, about the throw-ins. United won a couple down the right side there. He wants them hurtled into the 18-yard box. That one there, Charlie Miller again taking shot. He wants them thrown into the box. He wants his players to attack them, and he's having a real go at the throw-ins that they take it down the right-hand side.
Good pass from Miller. Duff trying to dart in field. Defended by Nemzadze, who's doing much more defending than attacking so far. And Jim Duffy wants to see his Georgian midfielder in creative mood, but he's a little choice so far because Dundee have been on the back foot.
It's been 100 miles an hour, Rob. Both teams really going for it. United are certainly trying to put the pressure on Dundee in the early part of the game, as you would expect, with the home advantage.
Here's Wilson, and back to Gallagher. Two Scotland Cups, Gallagher so far looking to win a third one against the Republic of Ireland at Hampden on Wednesday night. Good flick on by Jim McIntyre. Is an interesting formation this from Ian McCall, because just when you expected McIntyre to be playing a central midfield role, there's no doubt he's playing up front.
Yeah, Ian McCall certainly trying to change things about, to freshen things up at Tannadice.
Caballero against Bullock. Free kick given against Boland. He's much fouled, Fabian Caballero. I think the stats tell you that there's nobody in the Premier League who's fouled more than him, and his style of play dictates that he holds the ball up a lot. He's difficult to shake off it. He's very strong, the talented footballer. He's got his fitness back now after that bad knee injury he had. And he's playing well at this moment in time. Zanti's free kick. First there was Jim Hamilton. Free kick going against Lee Wilkie, a couple of yards outside the penalty box, and well, that's just taken the pressure right off United.
It's a silly free kick for Lee Wilkie to give away. I didn't see an awful lot in it, but it's right in front of the referee. The game has been spoiled at the moment with a number of free kicks, silly free kicks that both teams have given away.
Jim Duffy in his third spell at Dundee. And interestingly enough, when 10 years ago when he was assistant manager to Simon Stainrod, guess who was on his playing staff? A certain Ian McCall, who I think Jim Duffy remembers was a tad indisciplined as a player. He seems to be a bit more fully focused in his new managerial role. Lots of talent on McCall as a player, no doubt about that. Smith held up, literally, by Stuart Duff. Advantage played. Good pass to Gavin Ray. No way through. Good challenge from Craig Easton. That stopped Ray in his tracks. And right at the edge of the box. "21-year-old Stuart Duff leaves it to Billy Dodds. In from McCracken, and not the sort of ball that Jim Hamilton wanted, really. Not too many options about what he could do with it.
Hamilton's playing up front almost on his own. McIntyre just drops off that a little bit as well, and if you don't give him the right delivery, if he's going to try and flick on a ball like that, there's nobody there to pick up the second ball beyond the defenders.
Easton, good layoff first time from McIntyre. Duff in support. The cross comes back to him off Mayer. Easton, longest serving player on the Dundee United staff. Tries to get beyond Smith. That's a good ball in. Headed away by Kisnishvili. In on the half volley from Stuart Duff and away by Mackay. It's not pretty, but there's so much at stake for these two. Well, that was a clumsy challenge more than anything else from Fabian Caballero. Knocks over Miller, free kick.
No complaints that time, certainly a forwards tackle, best way to describe it. The game's frantic to say the least.
Number 8 against number 8, Miller against Ray. Dundee come out on top. And Gary Brady. Georgie Nemzadze alongside him. Well, bad first touch. And not too often you level that accusation against him. Usually a terrific touch on the ball, Nemzadze. Duff again at right wing back for United. United, and David McCracken just behind him. Doing a good job for United up and down that right side, Stuart Duff, and a highly promising player. And while Gallagher heads away with the senior squad, Stuart Duff is with the under-21s next week.
He deserves that. He's a decent young player, and as United improve, hopefully they will improve from their point of view under McCall. I'm sure you'll see the younger players developing more quickly.
Chick, it's McCall against Duffy down on the touchline. How's that one going?
It's all very interesting stuff. I think bizarrely enough, at the moment Ian McCall's having a real go at Duffy. He wants him to pull wide on the right hand side, with a bit more width to his play.
I take it that's Stuart Duff and not Jim Duffy he's having a go at.
And interestingly, Jim Duffy wants, I think he thinks that Noble and Caballero are too close together. He wants more width from them as well.
Gavin Ray's pass, Nacho Novo goes down holding his face very dramatically. John Robotham distinctly unimpressed, I think. Gary Boland was the alleged offender, but I don't think really there was a serious offence here.
No, Gary Boland's just trying to win the ball. He's put his arm across him, but there's no movement with his arm. He hasn't tried to strike out at the player. Noble's went down far too easily there.
He obviously doesn't realise that's a friendly greeting from Gary Boland.
He'll know all about it if Gary wants to really upset him.
Talented player, Novo. 20 goals for Wraith Rovers last season, 5 already this time around in the Premier League with Dundee. He's got a lot to learn. I'm sure he'll be the first to concede that, the young Spaniard. And that's the young Georgian, Zurikiznisvili, sorting things out at the back for Dundee. And he too accumulating a fair bit of experience at the age of 21. Play held up again. It's never really flowed in the first 12 minutes or so.
John Robotham there, I think he's given the free kick against Nacho Novo. He'll be trying to get his own back in Gary Boland.
Boland with the free kick. McIntyre couldn't get there. Stuart Duff does. Barry Smith to clear eventually. Sometimes an unsung hero, the Dundee skipper, but he does play a crucial role, and you know what you're going to get from Barry Smith. He gives you absolutely everything. Charlie Miller's long throw, headed away by Kisnishvili. Jim Patterson's there. Brady goes with him, Mackay too. And good tight marking from Dave Mackay. Another player sometimes doesn't get the credit he deserves. Having a good long run in the first team. Jim Duffy amazed that he's not anywhere near the under-21 squad at national level. Billy Dodds heading around that area just behind the front two, trying to find some gaps, trying to make things happen. He's a busy figure, 3 years at Rangers, back at Tannadice now. One goal already in his second spell last weekend against Motherwell. I correct myself there, it was against Kilmarnock, wasn't it, the last game before the break. Mackay's clearance coming off Easton. The ball taking a fair old pummelling at the moment. Patterson. Never really set for the cross, was he? Off balance, disappointed. Patterson that he couldn't get something a little bit better into the box.
He couldn't wrap his foot around the ball. I think that was down to Dave Mackay. He made life very difficult for him. Didn't give him the angle to get the cross in. This we're talking about Billy Dodds, Rob. I question the wisdom of playing him, in that deeper role. The one thing about Billy Dodds, give him half a chance inside the box and he'll stick the ball in the back of the net. And I just wonder how often he's going to get that opportunity this afternoon playing that deeper role.
Yeah, obviously in that position, Sandy, his ventures into the penalty box are going to be few and far between, whereas if he's there all the time, you do put some money on him sticking one away eventually.
Yeah, but I think he's seen McCall's way of working again. He did it with the goalkeeper when he came along at Tannadice, and he's now doing it with Billy Dodds, just trying to freshen things up.
Free kick given against Charlie Miller. He thought that was a decent jump for the ball against Gary Brady. John Robotham didn't think so. The goatee beard has gone.
It has. Yeah, no question there. He's up early on the back of Gary Brady more than anything else. We'll give the referee the benefit of the doubt.
Wilkie's free kick. Caballero, up went Ray. Neither to great effect. Well, Gary Bullen lucky to get away with a miscue. Good intelligent play from Jim McIntyre. Stuart Duff eases himself away from Barry Smith. 2 in the box and Billy Dodd's getting there. Good shot, Jim Hamilton. Touched over the top by Julian Speroni. Closest thing so far.
It's the best move of the game so far. Stuart Duff more than willing to get down the right hand side. Barry Smith diving in just a little bit, but it's a decent ball in. Jim Hamilton peeling off the front. His weaker foot, his right foot, managed to get a decent touch on it. Goalkeeper on his toes and a good touch.
The young Argentinian touching the ball over. Charlie Miller lofts in the corner. That's a good leap at the back post. Another chance for United. Dodd's effort blocked. Namzadze can't get it clear. His fellow countryman Keznishvili helps him out. And Caballero penalised again. This time obstruction is the ruling against Jim Patterson.
Didn't see an awful lot in that one, but United are certainly trying to put Dundee under pressure. They're working hard.
I think the game's being stopped too often, isn't it, Sandy?
Yeah, I was going to say that, Rob. It's, you know, there's a lot of the free kicks are unnecessary.
And it's stopping any flow, any fluency about the game. And you just think at times that John Robotham could let it run.
Hopefully as the game goes on, that's what will happen. You know, he's got to make sure there's no unnecessary clashes, tempers in the other part of this game. It's so important to everybody on Tayside. As you say, hopefully I'll let things flow.
Lee Mayer, it's about the furthest forward he's been so far. Nacho Novo. Mark Wilson tries to get tight. That's good, nippy play from Novo. And Dundee's free kick. He is very quick on his feet.
He's so good at this. His quick feet, as you say, Rob, just a change of direction. Got beyond Wilson there, but just obstructing him more than anything else. But he's so good at that, so dangerous, Novo, when it runs at people.
Lee Wilkie, an obvious danger to Dundee United, staring into the sun as well. In from Brady. Wilkie's header, away by McCracken. Easton flicks it wide to Miller. That's way beyond Hamilton, but a dangerous header from Dave Mackay. It's an own goal. Dundee United in front. 18.5 minutes gone, and it's a Mackay own goal. Speroni coming off his line, beaten by the header.
It's just a punt forward really from Charlie Miller. I blame the goalkeeper here, Rob. There's no communication. He's got to stay where he is. He knows Mackay is going to reach the ball, get a touch to it. He's drifting off his line, and really Mackay, I don't blame him at all. He's only trying to clear the ball and through to Billy Dodds. Dodds is just beyond Mackay here. But for me, that's all about the Argentinian goalkeeper.
Speroni beaten, and United one down. And there you see, he's talking about communication, he's talking about shouting, but surely if he's coming off the line, he sees the play in front of him, he should take command.
It's not about communicating that time, it's about seeing what's happening, seeing the play develop in front of you. He sees the angle of the pass, and for me, got it totally wrong. Dave Mackay's facing the game, he can't see where his goalkeeper is.
Ian McCall doesn't mind how the goals go in as long as they go in. I think the message he's trying to get across there is that he wants throw-ins from that sort of position hurled into the box rather than taken short. Now Dundee tried to compose themselves. That was not on the script, Chick, was it, for Jim Duffy?
No, and I think he really is concerned about Caballero and Novo. I think Caballero in particular, because he's not getting up for him. He's shouting for more work rate from him, get himself involved in the game, because the front two for Dundee really rock up in it.
Gary Brady against Gary Boland. Good covering. It's good play from Craig Easton. As Boland was beaten, Easton was there. Well, Jim Duffy makes a reasonable point about Caballero and Novo, but what about the service from midfield?
Well, I was going to say that's about Dundee United are working so hard to close down the Dundee midfielders and defenders. They're not allowing them.
Raised cross, and a good header won by McCracken. Nemzadze. He's been a peripheral figure so far, Georgie Nemzadze. It's a chase on. There's a chase lost by Mackay.
As I was saying, Rob, United are playing the pressing game. They're closing Dundee down all over the park and making it difficult for them. And even from the goal, we can see here, Dodge is getting forward, Hamilton's getting forward. They're putting the players under pressure, and that's why Mackay had to get there, had to get a touch to it. And the goalkeeper again sums up for me. He's got it totally wrong.
Well, it's comic cuts as regards a goal, but nobody's laughing from a Dundee viewpoint at the moment. That goes down as a very basic error. And it puts them under pressure now. Here's Caballero. Good challenge from Boland to win it. Easton prods it on to Stuart Duff. It's United who are hungry here so far. They want the win. They want off the bottom of the league, and that's clear in the way they're playing.
They're desperate for all 3 points, and the goals give them such a lift. They were playing well anyway, they were working so hard, but the first goal in a Premier League game is always vitally important, and United have got that breakthrough.
There's Duff, blocked by Smith. Mayer gives it away, straight to McCracken. Well, we saw Dundee in fine form in the one and only 27 minutes last weekend, Sandy, and difficult to recognise them here as the same side.
They're not been allowed to play today, and you give Ian McCall and his coaching staff credit for that. They've got the tactics right so far. And it's a simple way. They're working really hard and closing down.
That was a foul by McCracken and Caballero. Well, could he not play advantage here, John Robotham? I wonder.
Yeah, I think he could, but I think you'll find he may produce a yellow card. Caballero getting to the ball first, McCracken diving in, just a second late, and it could have been a sore one.
No card. Here's Lee Mayer. And that is no problem for Paul Gallagher. A cross played in far too close to the keeper to do any damage. Smith's header. Gary Brady gets there, holding off Patterson. And Mackay plays the 1-2 with Brady. Better from Dundee, now Nemzadze. Brady linking play together. Here's Caballero. Gary Brady involved yet again. Was that a handball? Dundee looking for a penalty. It's not given.
It'll be interesting to see this one again. It's a great move from Dundee. I think there's contact made there, Gary Boland's right hand, but the referee will be saying, was it deliberate or was it accidental?
So no penalty given against Gary Boland. Here's McIntyre. He's been troublesome for Dundee, Jim McIntyre, in these early stages. Caballero on the counter. McCracken tripped. And he'll have to come back. Foul given against him, and I think that was right.
Yeah, there's contact made. McCracken defending, the position was absolutely spot on. He got on the right side of the player. He's just shushing the ball back away.
Now Gary Boland, let's have another look at this penalty claim, another angle on this, and Nick came off his right hand. And John Robotham about 5 yards away.
Yeah, there's no question, it's stopped the ball going towards the goal. Gary's actually, his movements come up there, he's brought his hand up the way. So for me, we've certainly seen them given. That could very easily have been a penalty kick.
Sometimes on these decisions are matches decided, and what would that have done for Dundee had they got the penalty and squared the game? As it is, they still trail by a goal to nil. Novo tries to do something about it. Feels he was fouled by David McCracken. But in honesty, he was just muscled out of it.
That's right, McCracken just using his body strength. No question about that one, no.
Charlie Miller lost his footing really as he went to challenge. He slipped as he's explaining to the referee, but he certainly stuck Georgi Nimzadze up in the air. It's Georgi Nimzadze with the free kick. Flighted in and touched behind by Mark Wilson. Dundee's corner.
This is a better free kick, better delivery from Nimzadze. Hard one to defend against, but young Mark Wilson got up nice and early, knock it out for the corner kick on the right-hand side.
Kuznisvili watched by McIntyre. The short corner. Played in by Brady. There's Lee Wilkie. He was always stretching to try to power that one back across goal.
He's such a threat in there, Lee Wilkie. It's a decent corner kick. It's actually blocked just a bit there by Gary Bolton the way towards goal.
Well, time flies in the Dundee derby. 27 minutes played already. If you've just joined us, United one ahead. Dave Mackay's own goal separates the sides. United knowing that 3 points will take them back off the bottom of the Premier League and put Motherwell back in 12th spot. Dundee hoping to move 3 points closer to Hibs, closer to a place in the top 6 of the Premier League rather than being top of the bottom 6 as they are at the moment. Good interception by Brady. McIntyre and Hamilton, good challenge from Kuznisvili. Back it comes from McCracken. But that's fairly comfortable for Speroni. Remember our man of the match competition is running on 0900 10 200 25. Sandy will choose later. A digital camera could be yours, a supporters pack or a signed shirt. Easton. The United midfield operating very efficiently so far. It's been a good unit.
They've played well so far, United. You would say they certainly have earned and deserve to be in front.
Good timing, Sandy.
But I wouldn't underestimate this Dundee team. Under Jim Duffy, they'll keep working hard for the whole 90 minutes, and they've got enough players out there, enough ability on that pitch to score at least one goal today.
Caballero. Control not good enough. Billy Dodds thumps it away. Hamilton caught by Barry Smith as he played the pass away. Mackay plays it off Patterson. Took its last touch off the Dundee defender. It's United's throw. Hamilton up and about, making his way back towards the penalty area. Well, Ian McCall screaming at Gary Boland to get upfield and take this long throw, which he does. Headed away by Wilkie. Easton's there. And it was Barry Smith with the clearance. Back it comes from Mark Wilson. Not exactly the beautiful game. Caballero turns away from McCracken. Great ball for Nacho Novo. Here's a chance. Dundee are level. The link up between Caballero and Novo finally comes off. Nacho Novo's 6th goal of the season, and Dundee are back on level terms.
It's great play from Fabian Caballero. That's a marvellous pass. Gary Boland's caught off guard, loses his balance, collapses. But Nacho Novo, it's a difficult one. There's a lot of work still to be done here. He manages to keep his composure exceptionally well and roll underneath the goalkeeper and inside the far post.
That's a wonderful finish from Nacho Novo. You saw he just squeezed it between the goalkeeper and the post. And as Sandy was promising, Dundee had goals in among them, and Novo's equaliser has them reignited.
He said it was a good partnership, Rob Caballero and Nacho Novo. They've linked exceptionally well together.
So 2 goals already in the 3rd Dundee derby of the season. Jim Duffy making himself heard, or trying to, because there's a lot of noise around Tannadice. And if you want some words to go with the moving lips, Chick can supply the words.
Yeah, he's talking about the movement together of Caballero and Novo, and that goal, Rob, was for the first time they've combined well. He feels they're too far apart, get closer together, more movement between them, that's what we shout for.
No way through for Dodds. A lot of steel about Dundee. Jim Duffy has certainly added that element. No doubt about players like Novo and Caballero and then Zadze, they can play, but at times you need to dig in as well. Charlie Miller's cross, good header, and Jim McIntyre's effort, lacking a little bit of pace.
It's a decent ball from Charlie Miller. McIntyre getting there first inside the box, but couldn't get enough on the header.
That's well won by Fabian Caballero. Terrific stuff. Well, what was wrong with that?
I don't think there's any way that was a free kick. The ball's high up in the air, both players are allowed to challenge for it. Caballero makes a clear contact with the football before he touches Charlie Miller's body at all. And for me, that's a mistake from the referee.
Some of the decisions here, Sandy, I don't like slagging off a referee, but really, I just didn't see anything wrong with that at all. John Robotham was only a few yards away as well.
It's a contact sport, isn't it? There's 22 players out there very competitive today.
Lee Wilkie trying to force the ball clear. Dundee making a meal of getting it away. Finally back from Smith to Speroni.
It's a good old-fashioned game. Every player out in that park, you know, they're trying to do their best. They're trying to work really hard and win their individual battles.
Caballero onside. Nacho Novo, meantime, is again down on the pitch, holding his face. I think Dundee United's Mark Wilson was the player involved, but you always have suspicions about Novo because he tends to go to ground so easily.
He does. It's like so many foreign players. As we were saying earlier, it's a very competitive match. Every player is going for every ball, every 50-50, and I don't think that one was any different whatsoever. We see the Dundee goal again here. Caballero, what an important part he plays. That's a marvellous turn away from McCracken. Great way to pass. Nacho Novo, don't panic, son. And stick it in the back of the net.
And I think it was desperation as well from Gary Boland to try to get to it. It was desperation to get to it. He made him slip. Yeah. Couldn't get there. Novo was in, but what a finish.
He knew Novo had the pace to go beyond him, and I think Gary tried to adjust and get there and take the ball out. But really his movement was too late.
I think he maybe took an elbow on the back of the head. Novo, there were suspicions it might be a dislocated eyelid, but I think he'll be back.
I'm sure he'll be back when he comes.
Yep, he's back.
Eyelid looks okay from here.
Yeah, I think I'll pull through. Inside the last 10 minutes of the first half at Tannadice, Dundee United 1, Dundee 1. Very delicately balanced in the Dundee derby. Mackay's header. Patterson in for Dodds. He was waiting. Muir flicked it away from him. Now Duff. That's a terrific cross. And real pressure on Julian Speroni from Jim McIntyre.
Good play again from United. Duff again down this right-hand side. Another dangerous ball in. McIntyre entitled to go for that one with the goalkeeper. 50-50 ball. And that could easily have dropped over the line, but Stuart Duff is causing lots of problems down this right-hand side.
And shock horror, it's not a free kick. Dave Mackay's own goal put Dundee United ahead. Nacho Novo equalising for the team from across the road. 8 points between them pre-kick-off. Jim Hamilton holding the ball up and back for Boland. And immediately buzzing around him was Novo. Wilkie to Mackay. Good work again from Nacho Novo. Lee Mayer watched that carefully. Smith plays it 1-2 with Caballero. That's a late one from Craig Easton. And I wonder if that's going to be a yellow card. You would think it should be.
Yeah, he's very, very late. I'm sure it'll be the first yellow card of the game. Barry Smith, great play from him. That's actually a marvellous pass. He was always going to get there first. Easton really no chance of getting the ball there, and can have no complaints at all about the yellow card.
Totally committed to making the challenge, Easton. But that was great work from Barry Smith, linking play together through the midfield. Novo away from Bowen.
Second yellow card. Nacho Novo again, great feet, just knocking the ball beyond Gary Bowen, and Gary catching his toe more than anything else. Maybe just a little unfortunate to get in the book that time, because it was Novo's pace that created the problem for him. I don't think that was deliberate. Whereas Craig Easton just earlier thought he was very late, no chance of getting the ball.
A big weapon in Dundee's armoury, Novo's pace and trickery up front. Nzante with the free kick, left by Caballero, cleared by Duff. Here's Gavin Ray. Room for Wilkie. Brady, back to Ray. Novo wants it. Trying to wriggle away from Easton, did well, here's a chance! Mackay shot saved by Gallagher, and Brady deflected. Gallagher comes again. Dundee looking for a penalty. They won't get it. And Paul Gallagher pointing an accusing finger at Fabian Caballero, suggesting he made a meal of that. After Dave Mackay had a terrific chance to make up for the one he put in the wrong net.
It's a good spell from Dundee. I don't think there was a dive, to be honest with you. I think it was his momentum more than anything else that took him down. It's a good spell for Dundee at this moment in time.
A full and frank exchange between the referee and the goalkeeper. Dundee bidding to keep the pressure on. Ray to Brady. Gavin Ray again. Danny Smith. Dave Mackay and busy Brady. He's everywhere at the moment. Caballero. That's a good ball in for Lee Wilkie. Nacho Novo lets it run for the corner.
This is Novo again, cutting down towards the byline. It's a good ball back, and Dave Mackay is so unfortunate there. It's a good save, but this is one we want to see again. The ball fired in, Caballero and the goalkeeper. It's a 50-50, and I don't think that was a penalty kick, nor a dive.
Novo again threatening. Hamilton's header falls for Brady. United charge down the shot. Never a dull moment in the Dundee derby inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, and he's been a busy boy in the last 15-20 minutes, Gary Brady, and he's done a lot to try to turn this game around.
I think now that the game's settled down just that little bit, Rob, Dundee, I don't think there's any question, they're the better footballing team, they pass the ball much better, and that's starting to come into effect now.
Dodds kept that in for Hamilton, and desperate measures had to be taken by Lee Wilkie.
It's good defending from Wilkie. Again, United down this right-hand side. Dodds this time managing to get the ball across, and Jim Hamilton, a little unfortunately, they're trying to play it across the goal, but Lee Wilkie taking no chances.
.41 minutes on the clock. Miller's corner kick and a free header for Billy Dodds. You don't want to do that too often if you're a Dundee defender.
It's a poor header from Billy. He can do much better than that one. It's a free header inside the box. It's a decent corner kick, but Billy's got to get that on target. I think he tried to get too much power on it and didn't get the direction.
Even at time there to chest that down, Sunday. So bad was the marking. Back goes Wilkie, and this time Dundee get it right. That was almost deja vu, except it was Dave Mackay last time and it ended up in the back of the net.
That helps a lot if your goalkeeper stays in his goals.
Here is Julian Speroni. Flicked on by Brady. Easton is there. And Gallagher. Wilkie won the header against Hamilton. Namzadze fouls. That looks a sure one.
Yep. It's a yellow card as well. You see Namzadze going beyond Charlie Miller there. I think to be fair on Miller, he's tried to pull out that tackle. I think it's persistent fouling more than anything else that's created the caution this time.
Still arguing his case, Charlie Miller. We wouldn't expect anything else. But that's the third yellow of the match. Both Easton and Miller now with yellow cards in that Dundee United midfield. Georgie Namzadze getting some running repairs. I say Dundee would miss him, but he's not really been himself so far. He hasn't had the influence I don't think we'd have expected.
He hasn't, but I'm pretty certain, Rob, the longer this game goes, the more influential he'll become. You know, we see Brady very much in the fore at the moment. Namzadze will create the same type of impression once players start to tie around about him.
So that will ensure that there will be a little more time to be added at the end of this first half. We're already inside the 44th minute.
I think Ian McCullough will look forward to half-time more than Jim Duffy.
Wilkie's free kick, headed away by McCracken. Mayer won the header. Duff won it for Dundee United, and Kishnishvili lets it run.
Kishnishvili's played well, Rob. He's very composed at the back. He's only 21 years of age, I believe, but he recognises situations fairly early. He's aware of what's happening around about him and just let him drift through the goalkeeper.
The back four, two 22-year-olds, two 21-year-olds, and a 23-year-old goalkeeper. It's certainly a young defence, and Jim Duffy is always quick to point out that 3/4 of the back four is Scottish. So change days from the Bonetti bonanza.
Change for the good as far as I'm concerned. I think as far as Dundee supporters,
they were very fond of you, well. I think.
We'll never tell the truth, Rob.
Gary Boland back to Paul Gallagher, and just about the first the only quiet spell we've had in this first half.
It's been good though, you know, it's a typical derby match and very, very competitive, 100 miles an hour, and it's been decent to watch.
Patterson and Mackay jumping for the header. That's United's ball. And again, responding to the manager, I'm sure Gary Boland will want to take this, but he has to play second best. Charlie Miller wants to propel this one into the penalty box. Wilkie's there. Good work from Gavin Ray. It's given away by Caballero. Boland to Dodds, but good closing down from Dundee. Dodds was under pressure. Nimzadze knocks it into the space for Nacho Novo, and Gary Boland got there just.
He had to get there. Nacho Novo was away, kept the ball in.
Still a chance for Dundee to strike again, but it was deflected towards Gallagher. 45 seconds added to the 45 minutes so far. Good play by McIntyre. It's Dodds and it's wide. In his book, that's half a chance, maybe more than half a chance.
He certainly has got his goal-scoring boots on today. That's his second opportunity. He missed a header a few minutes ago, and by Billy Dodds standards, this is a real opportunity. He's got to get it on target. Good support play, good touch. We got that bit all wrong. Snatched at it.
Well set up, Dodds, there by Jim McIntyre. I've been impressed with his contribution so far. He's played in defence, in midfield and up front for United in his time, and he brings a lot of intelligence to all those positions when he plays there. Long ball from Lee Wilkie. Gary Boland heads it straight to Fabian Caballero. Shot took a touch on its way through to Paul Gallagher. Stuart Duff for Dundee United. And that's the half-time whistle. And accusing fingers, I'm sure, in the home dressing room, in the away dressing room even, will be pointed at Julian Speroni for his part in the opening goal, beaten by the header from Dave Mackay into his own net, but a terrific equaliser from Nacho Novo, set up by Fabian Caballero, and it was a precision finish for 1-1 at half-time. The Dundee assistant manager is Gordon Chisholm.
Gordon, what do you think of the show so far?
I thought the first 25 minutes, I thought we were on top. I felt a wee bit more quality for the wider areas. We could maybe have caused them a wee bit more problems. Last 15-20 minutes, I thought Dundee came into it. They got us on a very dangerous on the break. They've got some good boys up front. They're quick. Something we'll need to watch. I've actually scored from it. And I just think that we'll need to get a wee bit tight in the middle of the park. They're starting to get a hold of the game a little bit.
Fortunately, goal, but you'll take any time, won't you? Fortunately, goal, but you'll take anything.
Oh, take it. Sorry, Dan, I know here, sorry.
I said it was a lucky goal, but you'll take anything.
Oh, we'll take anything, aye.
Envisage any changes in the second half, Gordon?
I don't know, I think there'll be one change.
So Dave Mackay will look back in horror on this moment as he deflected that long ball behind Julian Speroni. A freakish goal, but this one was all about quality. The pass from Caballero, which unsettled Gary Boland, and the pace of Nacho Novo took him through, and he angled the ball away from Paul Gallagher. 1-1 at half-time.
So 1-1 in the Dundee derby at half-time, and well, that's a derby, Gordon, there's no doubt about that. It's 100 miles an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not been great stuff. I mean, all you can say is that two really committed teams, they're fighting for every ball. I mean, that their fans will be happy with that, because at least one thing your supporters expect is you get out there and you scrap and battle all the way to try and win and prove to your supporters that you're committed to it. But football-wise, it took away a lot from the game, because neither team willing to settle on the ball, pull the ball down. At times, people are desperate not to make a mistake, so at times they're just clearing the ball, kicking it as far as they can do, rather than just pull the ball down and start the movement from the back. So we're not seeing great stuff, but it's a wholehearted match, and it's been probably exciting more than anything else.
Oh yeah, you can't take your eyes off it. Dundee were poor first 20 minutes. I thought United had the game by the scruff of the neck.
They started very well, Dougie, yeah, they did. Which probably suited them the way the game went. It didn't suit Dundee, and I think Gordon got it exactly right there. You know, they got in amongst them, Dundee United. They got the break. Bad mistake for the keeper, as Sandy says, and they looked as if they were going to go further for that. But I think Dundee's got a grip of it now. Tremendous goal, quality. I mean, the lad had a lot to do to finish it still.
Yeah.
Great finish. And I think Dundee started to play the way they can play. If they keep playing like that, I think they're going to win the game. But if it starts getting scrappy again, then Dundee United will probably be favourites for me.
All right, well, we'll find out, of course. 1-1 at half-time. We'll look back over the incidents during that first 45 minutes shortly. One each then in our big live match this afternoon at Tannadice, the Dundee derby. Let's look back over the highlights of the first 45 minutes then, starting off with a fairly bizarre opening goal. But it all started with one of the two players that Gordon picked out as men to watch this afternoon, and got it right both times, Gordon.
Well, I didn't jinx him for a change. Charlie Miller was very prominent in this goal. I mean, it looks like just a speculative ball forward, but it's putting the defender under pressure, and that's just a lack of communication. The goalkeeper should be telling where he is, but Charlie Miller does pick out the pass here. You can see that he's looking to transfer the diagonal ball in there. It was a 2-against-1 situation. You see the two Dundee United players there, but I feel sorry for young Dave Mackay because he does need a shout in that situation.
Yeah, you do blame the keeper here, Jimmy, I think, don't you? You must do.
Definitely. As Gordon says, Charlie's seen it. He's seen the pass. Probably wasn't the best, but the goalkeeper's got to talk to him, you know.
Yeah, shame, because in fact just before that you and I were saying what a good goalkeeper Speroni is, and then something like that happens.
You were saying it.
Pass in the buck as usual. Two penalty claims, and we reckon there was probably something in both of them. Let's take a look at them. Gary Boland, the culprit first time round, and is this a handball, Gordon?
I think definitely is. At first, you know, and maybe the same views the referee gets, accidental, but I think he puts his hand up. I don't think it just necessarily hits him. You know, he seems to lift his hand there and he's blocked it. I think it's just a reflex reaction from Gary Boland, and I would have given a penalty there looking at that.
Yeah. And the second one, of course, all came after a very good save from Gallagher, from Dave Mackay. Now, how about this one, Jimmy? Was this a penalty?
I think he could have gave it. I need to see it closer up, Dougie, but yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, as I always say in these situations, the referee only gets to see it once, so really you've got to go with your first sight of it, haven't you, Gordon? And even after seeing it 2 or 3 times slowed, I think this is a penalty, don't you reckon?
Caballero's not cheating there. He's going in there realising he can be fouled, so he's not deliberately doing it, but I think he knows he's playing for it. He knows if he gets a touch first, he's going to be fouled and he's expecting to get a penalty.
Yeah, as good strikers do, Jimmy.
Of course. It annoys you for Gazenci sometimes, to be honest. Just seen there at the end that Gallagher was holding his ankle, so maybe Caballero's done him, and if it is that, then it can't be a penalty because
I just thought that he maybe hurt himself by actually, he went through Caballero and he's hit against Caballero. I mean, the funny thing, the penalty came at a time when I thought Dundee United were on top, only because of the pressure they were putting onto Dundee. It looks as if they'd set themselves out now under Ian McCall to just go and pressurise teams, play at a tremendous pace. They withdrew Billy Dodge today, and I think he's maybe trying to give him a sort of Owen Coyle take role. It's worked at Falkirk, with Owen Coyle just playing slightly back, and having two people are up there foraging for him and then coming through later. But he's not got the best out of Billy Dodge today, though, because he hasn't really got in the game. But from that point of view, I thought that the penalties were coming at a situation when Dundee United were on top. Yeah, Fabian Caballero took a little while to pick up the pace of the game, but of course he did play an absolutely superb goal for the ball, for the Dundee equaliser. It's the weight of the pass, really, isn't it, Jimmy? Isn't it?
Yeah, got to admit, Gordon's read the script, you know, before it. He's tremendous, you know, and the little lad, you know, it wasn't an easy finish, you know, and all credit to him. Magnificent pass. I think Gary got his body shape wrong there, but you know, it's a quality pass. That's what football's all about.
The only thing that would have helped Gary Boland there really would have been if he'd anticipated that and stepped forward as Caballeros. You know, rather than be caught out with the pace, you just step up and play him offside. But he's been caught between the two stools there, and it is a good finish. Jimmy said that's not an easy finish even from there, but it's a terrific ball because there's backspin on that. So it's actually just dropped over and it holds up and allows him to get on the end of it. It's a great pass. But Caballero hasn't been in it an awful lot, but that's what he's capable of. And just in a turn, in a second, he can just turn a game for you. Great pass, great goal. 1-1 at half-time. So who do you fancy for man of the match? Have you made up your mind yet? Remember, 3 prizes on offer. You can win either a digital camera, the man of the match's shirt, or a supporters kit. 0900 10 200 25 if you'd like to predict the man of the match in this afternoon's big live match here on the BBC. Time to go back to Tannadice, I think. 1-1 at half-time. Anybody's game. We're enjoying this, and so too, I'm sure, are Sandy and Rob.
Yeah, it's been compulsive viewing as the Dundee derby. Maybe not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but they're giving it everything, and there have been flashes of quality as well, none more so than the pass from Caballero and that finish from Nachanovo, which put Dundee on terms. And Spider-Man is here. And we've had 2 in the net already, obviously. And might well have been more had either of those penalty claims been upheld by John Rowbotham. And as you saw from the reruns there was a handball from Gary Boland, and it looked very much as if Caballero diverted that ball away from Paul Gallagher, and he was caught by the keeper.
I thought the second one was certainly a penalty. Once you see the angle at the side, from the side of the goal, Caballero gets to the ball first, and as soon as he does that, Gallagher catches him. For me, it's a penalty.
There's the change at the start of the second half. Gordon Chisholm told us about it. Let's Daniela Chiarini. Let's hear from Jim Duffy.
Jim, are you happy with what your team produced in the first half?
Yeah, pretty happy, Chick. I thought it was a good game. I think United came out the blocks. We know they would do that and put us under a bit of pressure for 10 or 15 minutes. And then I thought we settled into the game and played some good football. As I said, I think it's been a good game.
Who took the rap for the goal?
Yeah, it's just lack of communication. Obviously, that's the one drawback of having a continental goalkeeper, but you know, it's done, and we've reacted very positively since then, and we've got to keep it going in the second half.
United have made a change in the second half. Chiellini for Hamilton. You've chosen to go with the same 11.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, he's got something up his sleeve. We'll just have to wait and see the first 10 minutes how it goes.
Thanks, Jim.
Cheers, Chick.
So it's Chiellini on and Jim Hamilton off, which means Billy Dodds moves up alongside Jim McIntyre, and Chiellini looking as if he's lining up alongside Boland and Wilson at the back.
Actually, Chiellini's playing beside McCracken, and Boland drops that in the second half. Mark Wilson's pushed into midfield. He's played there a few times in the past for United, so that's an easy one for him. And I'm sure Billy Dodds will be much more comfortable playing up front.
And probably much more of a danger to Dundee in that position, as Novo threatens right at the start of the second half. Paul Gallagher had to be very quickly off his line.
That's good pace from Nacho Novo. There's no question he's got the legs to go beyond the United back three. They have to make sure they cover him properly, deny him space in behind him.
And he's been a problem in particular to Gary Boland.
He has, but I think it was Chiellini that time, just on the pitch. I just hope he's had a decent warm-up, because I tell you what, he's going to have to run about trying to catch Novo in the second half.
Stuart Duff, well-timed challenge by Lee Mayer, and again. In the absence of Joni Hernandez, he's done pretty well in that left-back slot. Here's Dodds. Flicks it on to Wilson. Shut down by Nemzadze. Dodds with Lee Wilkie at his back, little and large. Mark Wilson's cross. Jim McIntyre lays it off for Charlie Miller. Still not cleared for Dundee. Still not cleared. Here's Duff. McIntyre. Andy Smith intercepted. And now Dundee on the counter. Novo. It was pretty well defended. Dodds beaten by a combination of Kizhnishvili and Brady. An awkward bounce, sees the ball, evading Caballero. Good challenge from Chiellini, or Easton, and Duff. Barry Smith right at his back. Chiellini to McIntyre, good knockdown for Easton. Duff's cross deflected. Cleared away by Kizhnishvili. Wilson shot, came off Miller. Nemzadze. Chiellini all over Novo. Free kick.
No question about that one. Chiellini there, he couldn't get to the ball. Nacho Novo used his body really well to protect the ball. Chiellini's just got to be patient, stay half a yard off him.
Certainly didn't have to jump Chiellini to be all over Novo.
But it's been a frantic start to the second half again, isn't it?
Boland tries to keep a close eye on Dundee's danger man. Danger man and Spider-Man, both around at Tannadice. Good touch again from Caballero. Gavin Ray bursting from the midfield. Shot came off Chiarini. Played out by Boland. Doesn't want to be taking any chances.
Sorry, Rob, Gavin Ray should have passed that there. Very little chance he scored from 35 yards or so. Novo was in a good position wide right.
Mackay, whose own goal opened the scoring. Gary Brady. Interception by Wilson, and that's out before Dodds got there. 1-1 at Tannadice, 0-0 at Celtic Park. As Celtic look to close the gap at the top to 3 points, but still short of a goal. Good touch from Caballero. Brady battling with Wilson. And it's Dundee United's free kick. 18-year-old Mark Wilson continuing his learning experience.
You can see here Wilson was too quick for Brady that time, and Gary Brady doing the sensible thing from Dundee's point of view, stop the play.
That's a great touch from McIntyre, on from Duff to Dodds and back. Eastern against Kisnishvili. Corner kick off the Georgia, and Billy Dodds in the second half reverting to penalty box player.
It hasn't helped for him so far today. He had a decent chance there for a layoff. He didn't get his touch quite right, but he just needs half a second, half a chance.
Celtic are 1 down to Livingston. Rui Zarate has scored the Livingston goal. Celtic 1 down at home. We'll keep you updated with that one. Miller's corner kick. Chiarini was there. McIntyre got his head to it. Speroni wanted it, but Brady cleared it before it reached the keeper. Well, that should make a nice photo. He was close enough.
Watch the ball gloves. Caballero trying to keep the ball in. It's only his momentum. He was there in a flash.
Chick was in danger there, Evan. Chick, are you okay?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Billy Dodds with the cross off Mayer. Barry Smith trying to escort the ball to safety. Let's hear from Chick.
Yeah, United are thinking about another substitution. I thought you were going to have to substitute the trackside reporter there for a minute. I was nearly assaulted, but for the second week in Dundee, I might add. But yeah, they're good thinking maybe Alan Smart, Rob. They're covering their options at the moment. There'll be a change shortly, I think.
Mackay loses out to Miller. Patterson. Good effort, just wide. Dave Mackay's mistake and almost punished.
It's good play from Jim Patterson. Wanted to drive inside onto his weaker side, remember, his left foot. It's a mistake from Mackay there. But Patterson, he wasn't hanging about. This is a decent shot. Goalkeeper caught going the wrong way, and if that had been on target, it might just have sneaked in. It
was a deceptive shot because he didn't put an awful lot behind it, but it was well directed. So was that from Caballero to Novo. Nacho Novo trying to turn away from Chiarini. Off the line by Boland. And finally, David McCracken knocks the ball away off Caballero and out. But Dundee United living dangerously.
He's so bright going forward, Novo and Caballero. Good touch from Novo here. Didn't want to hit it with his left foot, tries to come on to his right, but he's patient again, he holds on to the ball. That's a good ball across the box.
Did pretty well here, I thought, Chiarini against Novo, because he was turned inside and then out. But it was Gary Boland to the rescue in the 6-yard box. That's a good challenge from Mayer. Well read McCracken. Casual from Miller. Here's Smith. Took too long. Gavin Ray now. Ray looking for a free kick, and thought about it for a moment, John Robotham, and then gave it against David McCracken.
There was good play from Gavin Ray. More than happy to drive forward again. Good pace, good power, forcing the defender into giving away the free kick.
Wilkie's up for this, Mackay and Kisnishvili as well, alongside Novo and Caballero. Georgina Mzadze trying to beat Gallagher into that top corner. Not quite. We saw him score recently in the Cup, spectacularly against Partick Thistle.
Everyone there expecting the cross into the far post, tried to catch out the goalkeeper, just off target.
Muir, Smith, and Dundee United's throw. McIntyre's layoff. Stuart Duff gets to the byline, gets a decent ball in. Mears header away. Mzadze, Caballero. Still Fabian Caballero, so strong, so skillful, still going. I think he was going for goal of the season there.
Great play from Caballero, marvellous to watch.
Disappointing from David Mackay, but he wins it back. Now Mzadze. Not quite happening so far for Georgian Mzadze, but this was sheer poetry from Fabian Caballero.
It's got everything. It's got great body strength here, great touch, good pace, good awareness, knows exactly what's happening. Marvellous balance, just tries a little bit too much. Should have passed it there. Easton working back to win the ball.
Well, Jim Duffy has got Novo and Caballero both on top form, but he also has Steve Lovell, his top scorer, and of course former Scotland striker Mark Burchill on the bench. So he has options. Smith, well won by Stuart Duff, no free kick. Easton. First 20 minutes it was Dundee United who were in charge of the midfield battle, but Dundee have fought their way back. Well, Kisnishvili penalised, and I'm sorry, I can't see the foul.
There's no way that's a free kick. Kisnishvili wins the ball easily here from Jim McIntyre, keeps his eye on it, gets a touch on the ball, no touch on the player, and for me John Roboth has got that one wrong.
Just hope he doesn't watch the tape. We'll be hearing from him.
I'm sure he's going to agree with us on that one when he sees it again.
5 in the box for United. Charlie Miller plays it in, but no one gets there. No one puts any pressure on Julian Speroni. And now it's a long way back for Gary Boland, etc. Chiarini with the header. Gary Brady underneath it. Goes astray though. Well, that was a mite risky from McCracken. Miller holds off Smith. Craig Easton to Billy Dodds. Jim McIntyre goes to the near post. McIntyre the target, and the pass runs away from him. And it's not really been a dynamite day for Billy Dodds so far.
It hasn't, as we said earlier, it just takes half a second, half a chance, and that young man, he's not a young man now, will certainly stick it away.
By your standards, maybe. Just turned 34, Billy Dodds, but he knows the way to find the back of the net. Did so early on at Rangers. Unlucky to be ditched from the first team plans by Dick Advocat at the time. And he's not been on the golf course, he's been on the substitutes bench since. And happy to see top team action again here back at Tannadice, where he was so popular and so effective first time round. And Ian McCall gave him the captain's armband. Well won by Jim McIntyre. But he's going to struggle to get past Dura Kisnishvili.
That's great defending from Kisnishvili there. Jim McIntyre has got an opportunity to play the ball in the box. Kisnishvili closed him down so well after Mair's mistake and cleared up the danger. He's played really well today.
I think there was a lot of English Premiership interest in Dura Kisnishvili when he came to Dundee. He came here because he wanted to play in the same team as Georgi Nemzadze's fellow countryman. That was a big influence on him coming to Dundee. He looks a class act because he's come through some pretty serious injury problems as well. Still only 21. Looking a pretty decent partnership, the one of Kisnishvili and Lee Wilkie. And of course, Tom Hutchison played pretty well for Dundee as well before he was injured. Paul Gallagher's clearance. Wrestling for it, Wilkie and McIntyre. He struggled to come out on top against Lee Wilkie. It's a battle of physique. That's Boland. Nemzadze won it. Daniela Chiarini. Dundee fans liked that one. Don't think he did.
It's a shocking pass, under no pressure whatsoever. You've got to keep the ball in play.
It's given away by Barry Smith. Drove the pass straight at Gary Boland. Here's Mackay. Ray. Pass intended for Caballero. McIntyre's pass. Well read by Nacho Novo. Good backtracking. And a Dundee substitution coming up, Jake.
Yeah, Jim Duffy's going to shuffle things up a bit. He's going to bring on Lovell, of course, who was meant to start last week at Dens Park and was injured or failed a fitness test before the start. Nacho Novo got his place. Lovell's going to come on, and it's Nemzadze who's coming off from.
So Georgi Nemzadze to give way. Steve Lovell to come on. As Dundee look to push for all 3 points.
Jim Duffy seems to be set to go for it in the last part of the game. You can understand why. I think that this game is here for Dundee to win it.
Well, at the moment, of course, Dundee are 6 points short of the top 6, so they really need a couple of wins, a few wins, to put pressure on Hibs, who are the nearest team to them in the table at the moment. Long ball from Lee Wilkie. Chiarini watches it back to Gallagher. United going to make another change as well. Lilly for Patterson, we hear. Mark Wilson. Jim McIntyre. Charlie Miller. Flick through for Billy Dodds. And an offside flag. .62 minutes gone, and Derek Lilly is going to come on. Started against Celtic on Thursday night, and he replaces Jim Patterson. Lilly's going to play on the right side with Stuart Duff having switched across to the left. And now Dundee's change. Steve Lovell with 8 goals in 16 starts for Dundee since arriving from Portsmouth. Jim Duffy's old club, of course. And Georgi Nemzadze hasn't really shone for Dundee today.
It hasn't hard today for him. I'm pretty certain Barry Smith will play the holding role there when Nemzadze was playing for long spells in the game. Lovell will play right up front beside Novo. I'm pretty certain Caballero is drifting between now.
It's a match there to be won. A goal apiece. Dave Mackay's own goal, followed by Nacho Novo. This man tries again. Good ball in for Gavin Ray. Out comes Paul Gallagher. And a quick throw to Mark Wilson. Jim McIntyre, and Wilson gets it back. Good step over. Gives some time and some room to Craig Easton. Now Stuart Duff. Wilson again. Kizhnishvili's header. Only as far as Derek Lilly. That came off Lee Mayer, who holds his face, just in case anyone thinks it was handball.
I think it was his nose, to be honest with you.
It didn't stop some optimistic noises from the Dundee United support. It's Wilkie, Caballero. An inspirational figure to Dundee, Fabian Caballero. There have been a few touches of magic from him in this match. Duff's cross. And out. It's Celtic 0, Livingston 1, still the score. In the other Premier League match being played today, Martin O'Neill's team 1 down. And were that scoreline to stay the same, it would mean Rangers would keep their 6-point lead at the top of the table, and that would be a major shock were Zarate's goal to be decisive. Still a long way to go there, long way to go here. 1-1 between the Dundee rivals. No way through for Billy Dodds. Unless he had a chainsaw handy.
It's good play from Lee Wilkie. Nicely composed. He's flushing the ball out again.
Easton's pass, good control from Dodds, and the layoff for Duff. Back goes Gary Brady. He's done a good job for Dundee this afternoon. Mackay's clearance. Caballero and Novo were both there. And that's a hefty challenge from Gary Bowen.
It's a really dangerous one from Gary Bowen. He's got a yellow card. He's got to be really careful. He's watching the ball. He's right through the player. But I tell you what, if I was on a yellow card, I don't think I'd have run into that challenge in that way.
And Nacho Novo's not feeling too good as a result of that.
It'll be interesting here if John Robotham's given a free kick or a throw-in.
Nacho Novo could be a candidate for man of the match, of course. Fabian Caballero there could be as well. Remember our man of the match competition. Sandy will decide later. A word in the ear of Gary Bowen from Ian McCall.
I'm sure Ian McCall said to Gary Bowen, just be really careful. The referee's given a free kick.
Free kick, but no second booking for Bowen. Good control from McIntyre and a clever flick to Charlie Miller. What a good challenge from Nacho Novo. I take it he's okay again. Caballero's pass fails to find a way through to Lovell, but it's good pressure from Dundee.
They're working hard. Nacho Novo's a good example of a foreign player coming into this country and certainly working very, very hard. Jim Duffy's certainly getting the best from him.
Duff holds off the Caballero challenge. But look at the closing down from Dundee. They're shutting things down all over the pitch. But it's Mark Wilson who did find a way through. And then there was the cover from Dave Mackay, which kept him out. It's the Julian Speroni roadshow.
Dundee fans certainly enjoyed that one.
Bowen with the throw for Dundee United. Daniele Chiarini now in there alongside him in the Dundee United defence. You just wonder what Ian McCall makes of the signings which were made before he arrived.
Well, you can't do an awful lot about it, Rob. This is the squad of players he's got to work with. Can't change it till the summer. And I'm sure Ian's number one only objective for the next 4 months is to make sure United are not bottom of the league.
If the scoreline stays this way, they will stay at bottom of the league. Joint bottom, I would think, with Motherwell. Almost intercepted there. McIntyre gets a second chance. Derek Lilly. Kisnishvili plays the ball away, straight back to Lilly. That's a good challenge from Charlie Miller. And it's yellow for Miller.
Second.
And 2 yellows makes red. Charlie Miller is sent off. And for the 3rd match running since Ian McCall took command, Dundee United are down to 10 men.
It's so silly. It's a handball. There's no need for Charlie Miller to touch it. It's a marvellous tackle to win the ball, and Charlie trying to steal an advantage, stop the breakaway, and he's paid dearly for that. You see here, it's a marvellous tackle from Barry Smith. No way was that a free kick. And there it is, deliberate handball. You can't blame John Rowbottom at all for that one.
Charlie Miller trudges off. He knows that's a moment of madness. And Ian McCall, it was Alan Coleman, his first game in charge, who was sent off early on. Jim Loughlin red carded in midweek against Celtic for a ridiculous challenge. And now Charlie Miller is off. Wonder what playing with 11 men feels like, says Ian McCall. And obviously Ian McCall will now try to reorganise.
Yeah, I think he's going to bring on Alan Smart. He's going to reshuffle. He's having a tactical debate here with Gordon Chisholm. I think Alan Smart will be the man coming on. We'll just find out in a second or two who's going to come off. He's going to switch thing. Obviously, maybe we'll settle for the point, Rob.
McIntyre won the header against Wilkie. That's Gary Boland. Gary Boland was treading a dangerous path in terms of a second yellow. Just a couple of minutes before Miller saw his second yellow. Billy Dodds, I think, is going to be the player to give way. He was subbed at Hampden on Thursday night as well. Dodds off, Alan Smart on.
Smart was certainly play right up front. Jim McIntyre may play just off the front now in the role that Charlie Miller was in. I think Ian McCall right to this moment in time would certainly settle for a point.
Dundee United 1 man down. In from Lemire, away by Stuart Duff. Long ball from Dave Mackay. Good running from Gavin Ray. Gary Boland clears. That's well won by Mackay again. Smith to Mere. Steve Lovell. And played away by McCracken. Switched off for a moment there, Lemire. That allowed in Derek Lilly. That's terrific play from Kisnishvili to win it back, if not the final ball.
Poor play from Lemire. Dwelled on it far too long. Kisnishvili pulled on the hole again. Not for the first time today.
Chick, what's Ian McCall trying to do here now?
Well, just before he got into McCall, I can tell you Jim Duffy's thinking about a change. Mark Butfield for Natra Nova will get in a moment or two, but the instructions of Jim McIntyre are to just sit and get forward and support Smart as often as he can. He's got a real shift to put in, and he's asked him to work really hard in that area, sitting back and then getting forward to support when United are on the break.
Derek Lilly. Across beyond Smart, beyond everyone.
I think it's so important from Jim Duffy's point of view now, Rob. He's got to use the width of the field. He's got an extra man. He's got to stretch United at the back as much as possible.
A big response from the Dundee supporters to their first sighting. of Mark Burchill. 6 caps for Scotland, the 22-year-old, former Celtic player, still with Portsmouth. He's on loan with Dundee for the rest of the season. He had loan spells at Ipswich and Birmingham as well. He's learnt a lot in the last couple of years. He's also suffered a serious knee injury, but he's back. What can he do?
It's a great opportunity for Burchill. He's so quick. Remember the fact that he hasn't played a lot of games, so it's going to take him time to settle.
Caballero. Terrific body strength. Great skill as well. He's got that little burst of pace which takes him away from the challenge, and that's where Derek Lilly was found out.
He forces people to dive in. His control of the ball is so good, his strength is so good, he entices them, and Lilly there just taking them out of the game.
A busy box. It's Gary Brady with the free kick. Back to Lee Mayer. Deflected off Craig Easton. Lee Wilkie, great turn. Still Wilkie, corner kick. What a turn. That's one for the scrapbook.
He's copied Fabian Caballero, isn't he? He must be training with him, but this is marvellous. Lee Mayer's shot is blocked. This is marvellous skill for the big lad. In between the two. Maybe should have passed it there, tried to go all the way. Eventually, Gary Boland blocking the shot.
Brady. Back for Gavin Ray. Good strike. Here's a chance. Prodded away by substitute Alan Smart. That's a corner kick, but what a vital intervention from Smart, this.
No question, offside. The Dundee players onside there. John Robotham actually gave a corner kick, but was overruled by the assistant referee on the near side.
Well, that was certainly crucial from Smart that he dived in, because the Dundee players were queuing up to try to force that one in. It's Celtic 1, Livingston 1, and it's Momo Sila who's equalised for the champions after Zarate had put Livingston in front. 1-1 there, 1-1 here. It's a tough shift now for the 10 men of Dundee United from here till the close. Mark Burchill. Great ball in, almost found its way through for Steve Lovell. Brady. Smith to Mackay. Gavin Ray. Now Lee Wilkie. Dundee trying to stretch United with a one-man advantage. Mears cross and no takers apart from Paul Gallagher.
That's a pure ball in. Dundee have got an extra man. They've got to try and take advantage of that by passing the ball, get it wide, get it to the dead ball line, and then fire it in the box.
Good pass from Lilly to Smart. It ricocheted back to him off Kishnishvili. Good first time pass from Gary Brady. Barry Smith plays it into space. And Mark Burchill trying to get there. Not quite before Daniele Carini. We're with Dundee United next weekend as well. Crucial match at the bottom end of the table. The new firm, as they used to be known, Aberdeen against Dundee United at Pittodrie. Aberdeen having won only once in 14 matches this season at home. And that's a 1:05 kickoff next Sunday. I wonder if Ian McCall will finish that game with 11 players on the pitch. Incredible, 3 matches in charge, 3 red cards. All the way back from 10 yards inside opposition territory to Paul Gallagher from Craig Easton. McIntyre. intercepts before the pass found its way through to Duff. Smart, McIntyre, and neither the corner flag than the goal from Jim McIntyre, but he's put in a good shift for his team.
He's worked hard, but really picked the wrong option there. Very little chance of scoring from that range.
Oh, 900, 10, 225 for the man of the match competition. Digital camera or a signed shirt or a supporters pack could be yours if your choice agrees with Sandy's. He'll make the decision shortly. Good work from Brady, works it on to Mackay. Now Caballero. Caballero shots held by Paul Gallagher. Just the hint of a fumble.
It's good play from Dundee. Dave Mackay heavily involved, trying to make up for his error early on, but Caballero there. It's a great run from Gavin Way. Gavin Way takes the defender away. Good shot, on target. Gallagher made it look easy.
Brady and Ray combine. Caballero and Gavin Ray again. Early ball over the top for Burchill. But even the pace of Mark Burchill couldn't get him there before Paul Gallagher.
I think there's a lot of tired players out there now, Rob. They've worked hard for 80 minutes so far.
Moment of brilliance, or a moment of madness could change this from a draw into a win for either Dundee or United. 10 minutes left. Jim Duffy, who's seen his side come out with a break with 2 wins up till now, having lost their last 4 before the shutdown. A distinct change in form for his team, but still at the moment well short of the top 6. Chiarini's header. He was with Partick Thistle in the first half of the season and switching to Dundee United during the transfer window. Smith, Brady. Formerly with Newcastle and Tottenham, Gary Brady. Smith chips it over the head of Stuart Duff. He'll have to play it. Goal kick.
Dave Mackay was trying to get there, trying to put Duff under pressure. The young defender managed to keep his cool and usher it away.
Dave Mackay's own goal all that time ago gave Dundee United the lead. Nacho equalised, and now Chris Sutton, we hear, has scored for Celtic 7 minutes from time. And goals from Seela and Sutton have changed it from 1-0 down to Celtic now 2-1 ahead. Could be a very significant result for Celtic this afternoon. Can these two be separated in the third Dundee derby of the season? 0-0 in August, 3-2 Dundee in November, 1-1 so far here. Dave Mackay on the overlap, time to measure the cross. Here's Mark Burchill, still Burchill, takes a tumble, no penalty.
Well, interesting to see that one again. There was a few legs flying around that the United box.
United try to counter. Alan Smart, back for Easton. Too much on the cross to be any use to McIntyre or Smart in the middle. Mark Burchill wondering if the referee was going to point to the spot here.
Yeah, I don't think there's a penalty kick there. Lost his balance more than anything else. Lots of bodies about, closed down, denied space. More a stumble than anything else.
Well, you're certainly waiting there for Burchill to pull the trigger, as he's done to some effect in the past. Good goals record with Celtic, despite starting very few matches. Duff's cross, Easton after it. Grabbed by Speroni and launched downfield. Came off the head of Bullen. And one bounce and back to Paul Gallagher. Derek Lilly's pass intercepted by Kisnishvili. Mark Wilson, good run by Smart, onside. Good defending by Dave Mackay. Another young Scot, Lee Wilkie, gives it away. Mishits from McCracken. Covering was Chiarini. Good interception by Burchill. 85 minutes played. It's well won by David McCracken against Burchill. Mayer, Caballero, lovely touch. Back from McCracken to Gallagher. Barry Smith. Scrapping for everything in the midfield area. Doing a very effective job. Caballero to Brady. Battling to keep it. It's well played by Mark Wilson. Brady won it for Dundee. Mackay to Caballero. Bullen wins the header. Who's your man of the match, Sandy?
There's been a few contenders, Rob, mainly in the dark blue Dundee today. Kisnishvili's played exceptionally well at the back. But it's all about scoring goals and making goals and entertaining. And Fabian Caballero been the top man today for me.
Fabian Caballero, man of the match, and still looks the man most likely to turn 1 point into 3 for Dundee. Another outstanding performer, as Sandy said, Zura Kisnishvili. But at the moment, 10-man Dundee United trying to hold out for the point. Harry Bullen content just to thump that clear. McCracken sticking very close to substitute Mark Burchill.
Dundee, Rob, haven't really taken advantage of the extra man for me. They haven't used any width at all when they've had the benefit of the extra man to put the United defence under pressure.
Caballero, Ray, Burchill! What a chance to win the game for Mark Burchill. Saved by Paul Gallagher, but Mark Burchill should have scored.
No doubt, it should have been the winner. No question about it. Good play again from Dundee. Great header in. And Burchill, he got it on target, but really didn't look confident at all. He's sticking that low and hard past the goalkeeper.
Mackay's long throw. Burchill again. Forced away by McCracken. Foul given against Alan Smart when he appeared to have won the ball pretty well. Mackay's cross. Lee Wilkie's there. Mistake from Kisnishvili. Mark Wilson took too long, and Kisnishvili made up for his error, but he's a bit too quick with his pass. Really needed to take his time and look at what was available.
United are playing man for man at the back. And if there's good quality passes into the strikers, they'll cause problems.
Lily trying to hold possession. He can't do so against Gavin Ray. That's well won. In goes Steve Lovell. Chiarini back to Gallagher. Now what can Dundee United do in these closing moments? 4 in the middle for Derek Lilly. His shot was brilliantly struck, and it wasn't far over the top.
Good play from Derek Lilly, cutting in from the right hand side. Decent shot, couldn't get on target. Just leaning back this for a little bit as he made contact.
We're inside the 90th minute at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, Dundee 1. Two minutes to be added. Well, good save from Paul Gallagher. You would have to give him some credit here, but the chance was on for Burchill.
Made it easy for the goalkeeper. Good height, straight at him. He gets it low and hard. It would have been much more difficult for that young man there. He's played well today as well. Local plays much longer about him.
Lee Mayer. Headed away by Chiarini. Craig Easton content just to thump the ball down into the Dundee half. And that was not what Julian Speroni was intending.
That's a pure one. Chance to take a touch, ball from the back again.
And his manager's not amused. Brady. Back it comes from McCracken. "45 seconds added to the 90 minutes so far. Just over a minute left. And it's Dundee United's throw. Is it to be a Dundee derby draw? A free kick against Caballero.
It's a silly free kick to give away. Takes the pressure right off United. Caballero nudging Duff here. Duff doing well, trying to get in the corner, kill the game. And a bar from Caballero.
And it gives United a chance to try to win the game from this set piece. A little bit of sorting out for John Robotham to do in the 6-yard box. McCracken and Jesus Veli forging a friendship. In from Stuart Duff. Gary Bowen got his head to it, but couldn't do any damage. Celtic have beaten Livingston by 2-1. One down to Zarate's opener for Livy. Sila and Sutton scored. And it's a draw for Ian McCall's 10-man Dundee United against Jim Duffy's Dundee in the third Tayside derby of the season. Paul Gallagher saved from Mark Burchill late on. It was a real opportunity for the on-loan former Scotland striker to become an instant hero with the Dundee fans. But he shot straight at the keeper when he was through. Fabian Caballero was outstanding. He set up Nacho Novo for Dundee's equaliser after half an hour, after Dave Mackay's own goal had given Dundee United the lead. A bit of squabbling involving Lee Wilkie and some of his teammates as Dundee head off at the end, and Dundee will look upon this as a missed chance. 11 against 10 for the closing stages, and a real chance for Dundee to claim all 3 points. They have to settle for 1. And Ian McCall, you could see there on the pitch from his reactions, is delighted with the way his team has performed. And I guess he'll be proud of what they did when it was 11 against 10 after Charlie Miller was sent off for a second yellow card. 1 point for Dundee United, 1 point for Dundee, and Dundee, Sandy, could have done a lot better, couldn't they, when it was 11 against 10?
I feel they played well, they managed to get back in the game after going behind, but really didn't take advantage at all of the extra man. They didn't get any width, especially down the left-hand side, and that, for me, they didn't really stretch United at the back. But in saying that, Rob, Mark Burchill, it could have been a glory debut for him. He should have scored, he'll know that himself, and a fit Mark Burchill, a match-fit Mark Burchill will be much sharper, and when that happens, that type of chance will end up in the back of the net. I think they'll be the happier supporters now. The Dundee fans will be frustrated more than anything else. You see Ian McCall at the end of the game, he was round about his players, congratulating them for their effort, but really it's going to be a hard task for him.
Yeah, he looks upon that as an escape. He's got to down to 10 men when Charlie Miller was sent off, and amazingly for Ian McCall, 3 games in charge, 3 red cards. Alan Combe, Jim Laughlin, and now Charlie Miller. Let's hear from Jim Duffy with Chick.
Jim, we talked to you at half-time, and I think you were pretty satisfied at that stage. How do you feel at the end of the game? Do you think you should have won it?
A bit frustrated, Chick, to be honest with you. I think that we pretty much controlled the football side of it in the second half, and we had a couple of great chances. Paul Gallagher had some good saves. Can't really remember Julian having a save to make, but obviously the game was very frantic, I think, in the last 10 or 15 minutes, and that didn't suit us. I think we wanted to put our foot in the ball a little bit more, so a little bit more composure.
And of course you always feel when you get the extra man you should be doing the business. Yeah,
we didn't utilise that enough. You know, we're trying to say to the players, keep passing, but I think they get caught up and desperate to please the crowd and get the ball in the box, but that didn't suit us at all. When we play well, we open teams up, pass the ball around, and I was a bit disappointed in the last 10 minutes.
A wonderful opportunity for Mark Burchill to snatch all 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was set up nicely for him. He's a great strike, you know, and obviously you can just see on the screen there, set up lovely for him, and I really fancied him to score, but you know, we hit it straight at the keeper. And it was a good save by Paul Gallagher, but you know, Mark will score a few goals for us, I've no doubt about that.
Alongside you, Gavin Ray, who captained the team, Fabian Caballero, of course, was named.
The team, Barry Smith's the captain of the team.
Sorry, Barry. Gaffer's here making a point, but we're talking about Fabian Caballero. He didn't want to come in and do an interview. He's not happy with his English, but he had a great match today, didn't he?
Yeah, he done really well. Fabian's a really strong player for us. He needs to, when he heads it up, he's brilliant. Obviously, he done it for us today, but just disappointing not to get a win.
Some great pieces of skill we saw from during the game there. I mean, and even the setting up of the goal, of course. Great turn, wonderful pass.
Yeah, he's excellent at that. Threading passes through, and it's a great finish for the wee man. So obviously we like to get a goal, but disappointing we never won the game, as you say.
Yeah, you'd obviously share the thoughts of the manager, but I mean the skills of Caballero here, the twists, the turns, he gives you an extra dimension, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's different class. He's so strong in that, and he's got great vision as well. Great skill for a big guy as well, you know. So he's a good player to have in your team.
All got some bits of flair and touch, but your own game, Gavin, a Scotland squad named this week, you still holding us ambitions in that direction, don't you?
Of course, I strive to be the best and want to be involved in squads like that, but just keep going until the next one's announced.
Well, you can pass on the champagne to Fabian Forrest, man of the match, and make sure it gets to him, will you?
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Rick. Thanks, cheers.
1-1 then at Tannadice, and even at home United, I think, happier with the point than Dundee clearly were. I think that's probably fair, Gordon. For me, Dundee played most of the football.
I think they did. In the second half, they certainly took control of the game. Dundee United were really relying on a few counter-attacks, and it was tough for them, and they could have won at the very end. The chance they had was very important. So I think that Ian McCall, his reaction, I think, showed that he was a happier manager too. Mainly because it's down to 10 men. I'm sure next week the training will involve, here's the team for Saturday and here's how we'll go once we lose a player ordered off, you know. Because
3 red cards in 3 games.
3 in 3 games, it's unbelievable. So he's getting used to that now, but it doesn't help his team's chance of getting points.
Let's take a look at the goals then, and Jimmy, as we said at half-time, the first one, Charlie Miller, who was the good, the bad, if not the ugly today, but this was the good Charlie. He saw the move, but the keeper's fault here, really.
Yeah. As I said before, he's seen the pass, Charlie. Somebody's come through midfield. I think it was McIntyre. And the keeper's just got to talk to the lad there. I mean, that's criminal.
So that put United in front, and from that point on, Speroni hardly put a foot wrong, hardly had a shot to save actually, but he was certainly at fault there, and poor Dave Mackay was put the ball in the net. But this was wonderful football, both in the making and the taking, Jimmy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's magnificent. That's what you pay to go and see, you know. Tremendous pass. Really was, and there's a couple of more things that we've just seen there in film. That's why he was man of the match. You know, he was very exciting when he's on his game, the lad.
Yeah, it's a great pass. But I just see again there the position Gary Bowen took. He didn't hold his line. With the 3 centre backs who were playing, and he's drifted back in with Novo, and if he'd just come out and held the line, Novo would have been offside and wouldn't have had to worry. But in fairness to Dundee, I mean, you say Dundee United's goal was pretty fortunate, and then Dundee created such a good goal, and overall probably just deserved to win it, Dundee.
And Dundee, of course, had that terrific chance right at the end, Jimmy, through Mark Burchell. I thought he slightly sliced this. I didn't catch it quite right. What do you think?
I don't know. It's not his strongest foot, obviously, but it's a good save for Paul Gallagher. But I heard it straight at him, to be honest. I think the game opened up a bit. Second half, obviously, a stupid send off for Charlie, but a yellow card. You know, but it's a great chance. It really is.
Knowing Mark Burchell, I don't think that's a good finish by any means at all. It's an easy save for the goalkeeper, straight at him. I would expect somebody like Mark Burchell to pick out a corner there from that position, so I think he'd be really disappointed with that.
Very well indeed. 1-1 it finishes then. We heard Jim Duffy's reaction. Here's Ian McCall's.
Ian, you've had all emotions now, a win, a draw and a defeat. I mean, do you think you should take more something out of that today?
No, I mean, going down to 10 minutes is always hard. This sounds like Groundhog Day. But going down to 10 minutes is always hard, but they battled away. I thought the first half was pretty even. You know, they've got some good players in terms of passing the ball, but we started the game very well. I think deserved to be in front. We could maybe have committed more men into the box, which I'm trying to encourage. And then we started the second half very well, but you know, the boy getting sent off, Charlie getting sent off didn't help us. But to get a draw after going down to 10 men for so long, I think was, you know, the performance, some of the stuff, the endeavour, etc., was excellent. It felt like a win.
You don't really have a discipline problem, do you?
No, like God, at Airdrieonians we won the fair play thing, and I think at Falkirk we were near the top. So no, there's no thing. Maybe they're trying too hard to impress me, but I mean that might not be a bad thing. But you've got to channel that in certain ways.
Thanks, Ian. Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
1-1 then at Tannadice.